Welcome to Plassey, my friends. We're here playing as the British East India Company, and while we are a army, or mercenary force, whatever you'd like to call us, the fact is business, and the Mughals are not very good for our business at the current moment. So guys, we're going to be launching an attack on a Mughal camp to try and take them out, establish the Queen's rule, and of course establish the dominance of the British East India Company. Let's get started here. I'm hoping for the absolute best. Lieutenant Colonel Robert Clive, you intend to extend British influence in India, and hopefully you'll enrich yourself at the same time. A powerful motive for your rank and file is to avenge last year's atrocity of the so-called Black Hole of Calcutta. Following the fall of the company's post there, 146 Europeans, including women, were locked overnight in a tiny hot cell from which only 23 emerged alive. Although heavily outnumbered on the field by diplomacy, bribes, and one counterfeit treaty, which you have no intention of honoring, you have suborned the loyalty of the bulk of Nawab's nobles and are confident that they will not fight. Of the remaining enemy, as the infantry are largely poorly trained rabble, it's only the armored lancers and their retainers that are dangerous. A battery of French artillery has already joined at the Nawab, and you want to finish this battle before more French reinforcements can arrive. So, of course, right now we're facing the Mughals, but their allies are the French, which makes our job all the more complicated, all the more difficult. By the way, Odinethius, the creator of this mod, always does such a great job at representing each and every regiment that is part of the battle and also giving them their own really interesting look, to say the least. So I like this mangrove grove area because it looks like a good location to get some shots from. I'm going to start pushing the Bengal native infantry here. These are the Indians that are actually working alongside us. I'm also going to take the European Bombay Regiment and really try to push on that mango grove. No wonder I was having difficulty saying that area. Now over here on the right side, we also have some more Mughal forces, which I want to be very careful with. We'll just push forward, but we'll definitely keep an eye on those Mughals. And I think the rest of the army I'm going to keep right here. I'm not going to be moving them forward anymore. Well, at least I'm not going to be moving them over here to the mango grove. Oh my gosh, fix that, Odinethius. I love you, but fix that. And we're going to get it right up here against the wall and pretty much hold out. Hopefully the enemy will attack us, but I'm almost certain that we're going to be the ones attacking the enemy. Also, if we don't want French reinforcements to arrive, we better do just that. The Mughal turn at this point. Are they going to move forward? Nope. Although I do see their cavalry arriving, the Pathan heavy cavalry. Love the image there of the Mughal emperor as well. Very, very cool. Now, the Mughals are Muslims in northwestern India. They were able to conquer a large part of the actual country, spreading their influence all throughout India, really, but really mostly in the northwestern area. And many of the Hindus wanted to fight against them, or wished to fight against them, and so would side with the British in certain instances. Some, their power just got incredibly strong. So hopefully we can hold out against them. We don't have a very large force, but we should have better technology, better weapons, etc. But guys like Mir Jafir Alif Khan and Yaf Lutuf Khan, these are essentially enemy nobles approaching us, and we want to be very careful about how we deal with them. So once again, we're going to grab our European regiment here and our Bengal regiment. Might even try to get to the hunting lodge, although I think that's a little bit far. There's no way we can get a shot from here. No, not yet. And I'm going to keep the rest of our men on a level playing field. I'm actually not going to advance too much, although we can probably start using the Royal Artillery pretty soon. Here we go, the 1st Battalion, 39th Regiment of Foot. And I do see those guys approaching, so what I'm going to do is actually set up my Bengal native infantry here on the right side to actually prepare for possibly repelling that enemy force there. I really hope we get some reinforcements. We know the French are coming to help the Mughals, so we can really use them. And there we go. We've got the Mughal heavy cavalry moving in, although I think we're going to get a lot of points if we can take out those Mughal leaders on the right side. It's a tough fight right now for the British East India Company, but we have to come out on top, my friends. Alright, they've got some decent artillery. The Mughals are known for good artillery and good cavalry, so despite it being somewhat uncivilized, quote-unquote, artillery, it can do some damage, and it can certainly fire at great distances. Here we go, approaching Mughal actual cavalry. That's what we need to watch out for. I hope our men are priming their muskets. getting prepared to fire. We don't want to lose a single man today, not even our Bengal helpers. I know it's awful, but, you know, the British man comes first, the Englishman comes first. That's just the cold, hard truth of the situation here. And actually, many of the people in the British East India Company were not even British. They came from all sorts of different countries to get a job, essentially. So we could have Portuguese, French, maybe not French. No, we could have some French as well, German, etc. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do in battle here against what could be classified as the toughest foe in India. Come on, let's get some shots. Are we close enough? Beautiful. All right, not bad, but I'll take it there. Nice shot there from the Royal Navy, Royal Artillery, and Lancers to try and hit the enemy light cavalry. Let's keep it up. Hopefully we can keep that volley. But it looks like these guys definitely have an advantage in terms of shots. Bring up the European Bengal Regiment. Gonna send these dogs straight to hell, sir. We'll actually turn and fire. Not something I tend to like to do, because we usually want to keep our focus ahead of us, but I'll make an exception here. Also, I'll make an exception here. Bring up another European Bombay Regiment here. Let him have it. I now know what we have to do with these men. So we're attacking from multiple angles here, as you can see. I'm sort of trying to close the enemy in. But also have the men out so that residual fire can be had throughout the battle. I think that's going to be it for now. What to do next? Should we start engaging Jafar Khan? I think we should. Auto brakes. Wow, that was an instant auto brake and dispersed. And that's, of course, the actual generals of the Mughals, or some of their nobles. So if we can knock them out now, that is going to go very, very well for us. All right, let's end this turn. All right, let's see how the Mughals respond to this situation. The problem is a lot of their army remains here, and that leads me to believe we're going to have to force an attack. We're going to have to keep moving up, and by the time we get to the Mughal camp, who knows what could happen. The French could have already arrived. It's very important for us to break this initial line of cavalry, and quickly, so that we can proceed forward towards the battle lines. Hopefully we get some nice residual shots here, and thankfully the enemy artillery is not hurting our men at all. Seems to be not necessarily falling short, but just not that effective. Now we've got to keep our eyes here, guys. This is the Pathan heavy cavalry and the Mughal cavalry. This is what they're known for. If they reach our men, we're in very serious trouble. I don't think we're in such bad trouble if the light cavalry get to us, but we should watch them too, of course. Pardon me, sir. Let's see, come on now. Come on now. All right, a lot of skirmishing archers and spearmen moving forward. And this is sort of the primitive part of the enemy army. Swordsmen, spearmen, etc. These are the guys we can deal with. They do have a few matchlock men, but of course their rifles don't even compare to ours, to be honest. All right, wow, 3. They actually managed to get a hit. And we've also got a light cavalry unit approaching here in front of us. Our boys better be ready for a hell of a gunfight here, guys. Everything full the queen, of course. Here's the residual shooting phase. This is what I'm really hoping goes in our favor. And not nearly as in our favor as I expected. But it is now our turn, guys. We can continue the fight. It looks like that guy is taking off. So we might need to turn around and start turning this way to join the actual battle here. We did manage to knock one of them down, so I don't feel like it's a total loss. Here we go, light cavalry. European Bengals. Turn. Direct fire. 20. So if we can get closer, of course we're going to do more damage, and I'm taking the fight to them. So we actually did get some return fire from the light cavalry, but we're just fine. Hasn't harmed us in the slightest. 12. 14. I'm amazed they haven't broken yet. I think for this we're going to have to turn and fire. Can actually win on the charge, but I'm almost certain they're going to retreat. Let's try, though. Yeah, they're going to retreat. And actually now we have a position behind this stone wall, so that's a blessing in disguise. Might also try to charge these guys, because once again, they will pull back. and this gives us more of an opportunity to continue firing. A little bit of a weird idea, but I think it's going to work. I didn't even expect that to be an option, but it doesn't look like their cavalry can withstand a bayonet charge from our actual men. So, we'll end the turn. Have fun, Mughals. Always with that artillery fire every turn to no avail. Unless we get close to your camp, you're not going to do a damn thing to our boys with that. Alright, now they're starting to actually get some hits, and I think it's because we're closing the distance. But again, I'm concerned about the Mughal cavalry. That's who I really want to be shooting at, not these damn light units. They're not even worth our time. Unfortunately, we have to deal with them. And they've got quite a lot of men. We just managed to disrupt one. Come on, we should be able to break this guy very soon. We'll also take a look at the numbers of men that he's already lost just in the initial volleys here. Also, guys, if you enjoy this series and you want to see more, make sure to hit that like button, comment down below, subscribe. I don't believe this live stream has Super Chat, but the best way to help is just to send PayPal funds directly to agrippaMaxenius@gmail.com. Whatever you can spare really does help the channel. And oh my goodness. Okay, I got scared there for a moment. I thought that was behind our lines. No, that's the skirmishing archery unit we've already seen. Maybe what we need to do to win this battle is to take the fight to their weakest troops, get them to actually rout, and then it wouldn't be so easy to, I guess, get the rest of the enemy troops, or to get an easy victory early on. We're going to try, of course, but we'll see what happens. Beautiful shot there behind the wall. East India Company troops are nothing to be trifled with. We're well known for our combat abilities. Many of the members of the East India Company are veterans from previous wars, so they're not afraid of conflict in the slightest. I'm actually going to focus fire on this light cavalry with these units and with the Royal Navy. Good work. Fragmented. One more good shot and they will break, my friends. We'll push forward here. Not quite good enough, but I feel safe that with the European Bombay Regiment, we're going to get a direct volley. And I mean a direct volley right into their faces. Prepare. Aim. Not as good as I expected. Still, we're very close to breaking him. Now we should focus fire on the light cavalry ahead of us, but also keep an eye on the Pathan heavy cavalry. I wish we had some artillery during this battle, but we do not. So for now, we're going to have to use the good old rifles and the bayonet to affect any sort of change. Could really use some reinforcements. I think that goes without saying. Although at least our Bengal native infantry have arrived here on the flank and can start delivering some much-needed firepower. Can they hit from here? Good shooting, boys. Thank goodness we put them through training there. Let's end the turn. I'm hoping the residual shooting phase on our end is going to be really good this turn, but I'm not sure. Look at that enemy artillery. Now it's starting to actually hit us, and it's definitely a threat. Even more of a reason for us to continue moving forward. We can't stop. We have to keep pushing under any circumstances, even with advancing enemy cavalry. All right, nice shot. I believe that could be Mughal cavalry. If it is, we need to pretty much stop shooting at anybody else and shoot at them exclusively, because these guys can ruin our day and do it very quickly. Come on. Again, the resilience of the enemy cavalry unit is pretty amazing. We still didn't manage to break that unit that just fragmented. I might chase it, but chasing might be the worst thing to do right now with all of these Mughals advancing. I can't imagine how tough this battle would be if the French got here. So actually, they're throwing some arrows at us. Actually getting some arrow shots. That's incredible. I would charge, but I'm guessing the arrow unit, just like the cavalry unit, is going to run almost immediately. We could also chase Lutuf Khan and this guy with one of our other units, but I think right now we have to keep everybody together. There we go. Good shooting. Actually got them to break, and that's our trusty Royal Navy, Royal Artillery Lascars. Back to us, and no reinforcements to speak of. 16. Up close and personal volley. 20. Let's take a look at their numbers, guys. They started with 500. They have 381 men. Of course, we don't know if those are all killed or some wounded, but nonetheless, not looking good for the enemy. I am going to go for the charge and try to see if they will fall back and evade, and then we'll come in from the flank next turn. I think you guys can sort of see what I'm trying to do here. Obviously, I could have turned in their direction, but that would take an extra move. Can't currently do that. 15, and that's definitely Mughal cavalry. That's why I am so desperate to knock it out of here, or stop it as a threat at least. 20. I'm even going to turn and fire. That's how deadly they are. We got a few good hits on them. Knocked out about 86 of them. Not bad. But our problems continue. Alright, guys. We'll try to get the European Madras Regiment here, too. While we're at it, we might as well go ahead and take a shot at the light cavalry. They've already taken quite a pounding this battle, so hopefully we get lucky and break them very soon. Okay, God must be with us, boys, because what we're facing right now is utter devastation. It's only our rifles and our trust in the British East India Company and the Crown that can save us in this battle. Few lucky misses for us there with the artillery, but they have plenty. And, of course, they're going to go ahead and use it again. Hit one of our boys, but even one, again, can cause a lot of morale damage. It's not necessarily the casualties here that matter with artillery, it's the actual morale damage that this can cause. It causes morale checks, and I don't like those. Wow, look at that advancing primitive force, guys, on the right. I wish we weren't dealing with the cavalry. I wish we were just dealing with them, but the cavalry have arrived nonetheless. And look at that, a Mughal cavalry unit disrupted. This is not an opportunity that often presents itself, so we want to get in there and start firing immediately. Come on, there we go, the primitive force arriving. You bet I'm going to call it a primitive force, but actually, there's actually some really great Bollywood movies I've seen, or it may actually be Pakistani cinema, of the ancient rulers of the Mughal Empire and the formation of this empire. And this empire has a history just as fascinating as the Ming Dynasty, etc. Things like this. One moment. Sorry about that interruption, my friends. Well, it looks like the Mughals are closer than ever. We've even got Yadul Lutuf Khan coming back for another fight, and I'm definitely going to remind him that he is not in a position to fight our men. Once again, dispersed, or actually this is a different one of the nobles, but we dispersed him as well. That's sort of an easy dispersal bonus there. So now we want to focus on the rest of the Mughals, and of course, I'm looking just like you guys are at that Mughal cavalry unit. Let's see if we can't break them right now. Fragmented. Great start. 20. Come on. Direct hit from the European Bombay Regiment. These boys know what they're doing. And the Mughal cavalry does have armor, all sorts of things. There we go. We actually got them to break, and we disrupted this light cavalry unit. I really do want to fire at the Mughals here, so for now, I'm just going to turn with the Bengal native infantry, see if I can make a difference. 16. Could be a lot better. Let's bring up the European Madras Regiment to assist with the approaching Mughals here. That cavalry could crush us, and disrupting them is exactly what we needed. I'm going to go ahead and deliver another volley into them. 19. Wish it was a little better than that, but I'll take what we can get. Let's make sure we moved everybody else, guys. So we do still have the Regiment of Foot. I'm almost tempted to bring the Regiment of Foot this way to assist with engaging the Mughals and just ignore the light cavalry unit. That's what we're going to do. I know, a little bit weird, but let's see how it goes. Now, we can either fire at the retreating Mughal cavalry, ensuring they don't come back, or we could take a shot at the light cavalry here. But, of course, at that distance, it's going to be hard to get the hit. we'll still go for it. So there we go, 3. Hey, not bad. A few less Mughals. That's going to be it, guys. Here we go. For king and country, let's hope this works out, because it's not looking good. Not with that many Mughals advancing. At least the French haven't arrived, but that is a possibility for sure in this battle. As always, guys, I highly suggest that if you guys are enjoying the battle, discuss it in the chat. I really love to see sort of the conversations people have about battles like this and how you would approach it, and also just the history of the British East India Company, or whatever topic the current battle is about. I actually don't know much about the British East India Company. I had to do a little research myself before even starting the battle. I had known a little bit, but not as much as I ultimately found out. Again, with the multiple nationalities, etc., definitely not exclusively British at all. Not even in the standard, European regiments. I was going to say the Bombay regiments, but the standard European regiments were all sorts of different nationalities. I'm guessing the majority were British, but I can't confirm that either. Alright. Now again, maybe I'm thinking we should go and engage these skirmishing archers, because we could break them very quickly. And if we can get to that, past that 45%, or the 60% really, then we can win this battle. Here we go. Keep firing, boys. I hate the scout cavalry, the light cavalry here, and the archers are also kind of frustrating me, but thankfully they haven't killed too many of our men. Shooting phase. This is where the magic happens. And so far, none of our units have actually made contact with the Mughals. When I say made contact, none of them have actually engaged in close combat or anything like that. Let's also take a shot here at the skirmishing archers. I'm curious to see if we can do any damage to them. Ooh, they actually give us a nice bit of return fire. Now, let's fire at the enemy here with the European Madras Regiment. Good old redcoats. The enemy's going to break. Beautiful. We disrupted that light cavalry. This suggests that we should go ahead and turn our attention to this guy. We can also potentially break him, but we definitely want to keep our focus on these 2 light cavalry units. Might not seem like a lot to you guys, but knocking them out of this fight will definitely bring that percentage up. 5. We need a better result than that. Forward. Now, the Royal Navy Regiment has made us proud in the past. Let's hope that they can make us proud again. They've got those cannons in front to really add to their firepower. Blue uniforms. 21 fragmented, not bad, but not a break, unfortunately. So at this point, we really are taking that archer fire. We're going to have to respond to that quite soon. I'm amazed that they're not completely broken yet. What to do with the native Bengal cavalry, though? I think we have to push them up this way. Although I'm thinking we should maybe concentrate our forces just in this area. So should we fall back? Not necessarily, but what we can do, I just realized, beautiful use of our regiment of foot here. We're going to open up on the flank of that light cavalry. And I'm amazed that that didn't cause a morale check. But c'est la vie. Alright, we actually just disrupted Rai Durlab. This is another one of the enemy, I want to say chiefs, nobles, excuse me. And we've auto-broken him as well, dispersed once again. So apparently a bunch of the nobles came to watch the battle and started getting shot at and killed by the British, at least in our alternative history version of this fight of Plassey. Okay, guys, here we go. We know that artillery is going to start firing, but again, I'm not really that concerned with it. I'm concerned with a cavalry charge by one of these Mughal forces. Okay, that's bad. So we actually had an enemy unit rally. I was not expecting that. But again, it's a bit of a long way to the exit of the battlefield here, which is one reason I was thinking of maybe opening a volley on those guys that were retreating. We won't be as merciful in the future. So if we see an enemy unit retreating and we have a good opportunity to take a shot at it, we're going to do just that. Come on, boys. Prime those muskets. Prepare to fire. Yeah, they're closer than ever at this point. And they're actually sending in the skirmishing archers. So they're getting pretty desperate or pretty confident. I don't like that. We want to stop that confidence in its tracks and deliver a blistering volley. Just cut down as many of these Mughals as we can. Yeah, they're absolutely getting confident. Look at this. It's actually starting to surround our army. We can't have this, folks. I want to make sure that our men really choose their shots carefully here. Prepare to fire, boys. Come on. There we go. Disruption. As you can see, the archers disrupted pretty quickly. Will this continue throughout the fight? I also really don't like the enemy spearman unit closing in on us. Thankfully or not, we don't have any cavalry, so don't have to worry about that too much. 15. Come on. Just so much return fire there. You tend to think that, you know, arrows aren't going to do much damage. No, absolutely. They do a lot of damage here. Fragmented. This is a chance for a disruption, guys. Or a break, I should say. Let's open up with the Bengal native infantry. Show us what you're made of, boys. Nope. Apparently, nothing. So we'll move up with the European Bombay Regiment. And we are right in their face at this point to try and break the skirmishing archers. Oh my goodness, they held. Unbelievable. Might actually try to hit the cavalry back here, and we did manage to break them. Again, I'm much more afraid of a cavalry unit than I am an archer unit. Nonetheless, we are consolidating our position. We're going to get closer here, and then if we need to turn outward to face the rest of the enemy, that's exactly what we'll do. They are still fighting. Unbelievable. So what should we do here with the Bengal native infantry? I think what we should do is start targeting that spearman unit. The reason being, we can also target it with this European Bengal regiment. Or maybe we should push them forward and engage this enemy. I just don't think it's a good idea right now. Our rifles are much stronger than the enemy's rifles or any of the enemy's missile units in general. So we've got to try and break them now. So many hits there on the spearmen, but they have over 500. Still, we killed about 120 just in that little exchange alone. All right, here we go. End the turn. Not very confident, but we have to fight to the very end. British honor demands it. See somebody typing something about British honor in the chat. It's controversial. Man, do they ever run out of rounds there with the artillery? It's just non-stop. It's going to be firing at us the entire game, and I'm wondering if we actually have to get up there to those walls and storm the fort. I don't think so. I think we just need to break them here, but what a terrifying prospect if the unit actually had to do that. Now, this is what I was terrified of. We did get a flank charge by one of the Mughal cavalry. Sorry, we've got Comrade in the background going insane. But that's the first time we actually got a nasty little flank charge there. I hope our men can withstand it. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. And they're starting to move the artillery up rocket batteries as if we didn't have enough to worry about. I called them primitive, and this is how I'm going to pay for it. We're actually going for a charge. Oh my goodness, and the enemy Ghazi warriors absolutely disadvantaged us there. So now we have to completely focus on the enemy here to the east. Stand strong, boys. The day has not yet been lost. There's plenty more we can do. I thought it was our residual shooting phase. It seems that's not the case. And they broke our unit. That was a quick break, too. A very quick break. believe that means they could potentially get a charge on this guy as well. And actually, I'm considering doing some charges here with our own men. So the enemy is going to charge, and sure enough, they've impacted our naval unit. Thankfully, they've fallen back. This is our chance to fire at the enemy, and that's actually Mir Madan Khan. That's the leader of the Mughals. No wonder he is so dangerous. Can't even get a shot at him because our own men are in the way. We'll start firing there for sure. That is a major threat, Mir Madan Khan. I also, though, want to break the enemy. But let's try to break the enemy here. Not what I expected. 6. There we go. All right. It's just a skirmisher unit, but they are going to fall back here. And I really think we should fire at Mir Madan Khan. The thing is, I really want to shoot at that Mughal cavalry and try to break them. I have to, guys. I have to shoot at the Mughal cavalry. Over here, it's all down to the Bengal native infantry. And I think we have no choice. We've got to move in here. Should we attack, we would actually do pretty well in a charge. Get those bayonets out, boys. It's indecisive for now, but let's hope that this actually starts to work out pretty well. I will turn our European Bengal regiment here and open fire on that unit. I'm going to cover Comrade up. I think she'll calm down just a little bit. But nice, that worked out well. And actually, we disrupted the enemy unit there. All right, let's end the turn. Alright, we can see the enemy now really charging in, and this is where things get dangerous, but incredibly, we actually fragmented the enemy infantry. Let's see, maybe our bayonets will be the ones to ultimately win this battle, guys. Mughal turn, what are they up to? Yeah, just still hammering away with the artillery, of course, that never ends. See all those disruptive units in front of us, just so many chances to get a kill. We could also try and chase the Khan's army himself, but that seems really risky. Not the Khan's army, but his cavalry contingent. It seems really risky to do that. I feel like we could cut down before we were able to, and I still feel like it would take a lot of shots for him to even start being disrupted. But breaking the Khan could win us the fight. I really believe that. So we sort of won this fight. 14 losses on our side, 20 on the enemy side, but keep in mind, the enemy has a lot more men to lose. And there we go, once again fragmenting the enemy spearmen. Can we break them with the European Bengal regiment? I sure hope so. These guys on the right are being completely charged, so we've got to try and win a battle here. Show the enemy that we're not all about just our rifles. We've got bayonets, we've got sabers, we're ready for anything. 37! Oh my goodness, okay. I think the Royal Navy got a little angry there. They actually got an incredible volley there on the Khan's group. And we've also broken some enemy spearmen here. Pretty dramatically as well. Unfortunately, we're going to be going past them, but we did get disruptions. Although I'm sad that we're going to chase them because we could have potentially charged that unit on the flank and gotten another break. Come on. Now we really need to change our focus. I think, unfortunately, I'm not sure that Bengal native infantry is going to be able to hold against the enemy's relentless attacks. And we've broken another enemy spearman unit, guys. I thought they were going to crush us in close combat, but absolutely not. Our bayonets are cutting them down even as they run away. No prisoners whatsoever. All right, let's take a look here. Could we get a shot on Mir Madan Khan? we probably could, but I think it's probably more strategic to try and knock out the enemy light cavalry. So let's fire. Must be enemy matchlocks right there. And I'm actually going to charge this unit. He's going to evade, and this gives me a perfect shot at Mir Madan Khan next turn. In fact, I could even move up there, which is what I'm going to do, and start firing. Now with the Royal Navy, guys, we'll target any units that are actually disrupted. Try and make them make that difficult decision to just go ahead and surrender outright. And there's not much we can do with this guy on the right. Pretty much just have to wait it out. Okay, boys, we end the turn. We really don't have that many men in this fight compared to the enemy, so it's coming down to the last few turns, I think. If we can break a few more units, we can come out of this with a victory. If not, the French will arrive and we'll be even more screwed than we are right now. Is that a YouTube-friendly word, screwed? I certainly hope so. Get out of here, Mughals. This is British East India Company territory, so I'm hoping they can hold out at least one more turn here. The Bengals, they've been very brave so far, but as you can see, they started with 525 men. They're down to 317, so they've lost almost half their men. Yep, they've held on so far, but I'm not sure they're going to survive another phase. Down to willpower at this point, my friends. We're getting pretty desperate there with their artillery. Right, that's not good. We've got a flank attack by the enemy. And it was against one of our stronger units. I am not a fan of that. Again, it's a Pathan heavy cavalry unit. We have to be so careful about that enemy heavy cavalry. It's hanging out all over the place. But we're also at the same time trying to chase it down. Flank attack with a matchlockman. I think we can hold these guys off. We should be able to win this fight. I would expect our men would be much better trained than matchlock men in close combat. Got the bravest men on the battlefield there in the eastern part of our fight. I mean, that Bengal infantry just continuing to hold on for dear life is really just absolutely beautiful. They won't give up. I'm amazed that they were able to do so well there in combat against us. Now we're going to completely target that unit. I have total bloodlust to wipe that unit out. And there we go, the Bengal native infantry. Just showing themselves to be absolutely honorable fighters. They're keeping off all of these Mughal warriors. They're fellow countrymen, but obviously not ideologically on their side. All right, East India Company time, baby. And I see a unit about to break. Let's make that happen. Royal Navy didn't actually manage to get the break. I expected they would. Very well. We'll get right up close and personal with the Bengal native infantry. That's the result I'm looking for, folks. And the only thing I'm concerned about is that unit right there, the Pathan heavy cavalry. I feel like he's going to break us any moment. What I'm going to try to do is fight these swordsmen off. Immediately getting 26 hits. Matchlock men are going to be a problem, but we're talking like, you know, very early tech rifles. So I think we can deal with them. Let's, in the meantime, try and get Mir Madan Khan to retreat from the battlefield. That would be a huge PR victory. Although, you know what? More important things at stake. Let's fire at the matchlock men. They're not going to be quite as brave as Mir Madan Khan. Here we go, turning it over to the enemy. How's it going to go, guys? Let us know in the comments how you think the battle is going to go. 32% of the enemy army routed, 9% of our army routed. I'm not sure. Despite losses, they are still holding on for dear life. I don't think they'll make it through this turn, though. They're gonna eventually disperse due to losses alone. Yeah, finally disrupted. And that's not good. So it looks like the enemy matchlock men there just rallied again. Luckily, some of the enemy units are dispersing. So a few of them are like, hey, maybe we can still win this battle. The rest of them are saying, let's get the hell out of here. Especially these guys. There we go. Another dispersal. That's what I like to see. But now the Mughals can really plan ahead as to what they want to do next. They have disrupted our Bengal infantry. I would love a morale boost right now. We could really use it. We could really use some, just a few, even native mercenaries would be helpful. Archers, whatever you've got, give them to me. For a rear attack. Very bad news. Breaking one of our units here. Very, very bad news. So we're going to have to just reform the line with the rest of these guys and hope we can hold out here at the hunting lodge area. Just a few more disruptions and magic will happen. Come on. Make sure those rounds ring true, folks. And here we go. This is going to be the fall. And, of course, they auto-broke. There was just nothing they could do there. They were losing too many men to be of any use really anymore. And over here, they've broken 3 of our units in quick succession. That is brutal. Got us to 47%. Or, excuse me, 32% of our troops routed. We need to get them to 60% troops routed. We can still win this fight. It's just going to be very tough to do. 22, fragmented. Oh my god, boys. Good god. 8, not enough to fragment. It's time to move this unit out anyway. And I think the rest of our boys were going to focus... Well, we could charge the actual French artillery batteries. That's another option. Or we can focus on the east. I think the east is a bit dangerous. We need to keep our eyes pointed this way. It's not the best case scenario, but it's what has to be done right now. Like, we could even go for a charge. See if we can't get into some combat. We could end up getting ourselves into some trouble. So for now, I'll open fire and play it very safe. Because again, we only need a few more breaks before we can actually win this fight. And now that we're right up close and personal with the enemy batteries, they're actually hitting us with full force. Before, they were just, no concern at all, almost like fireworks. But now they're actually starting to damage our men. And that is a problem, especially with our lack of soldiers. This is definitely a time for heroes. It's not a time for enemies to be rallying like that. Nine. That's the most brutal shot yet. We really need some rallies on our side. We need some confidence, boys. And how many rounds do they have? My goodness. Right, nice little return fire there. And yeah, I think we did the right thing pointing the rest of our troops this way, because they've got a huge army coming our way. So our best chance is to kill the Khan, maybe cause mass disruption amongst the enemy lines, and win the battle that way. Here we go, the residual shooting phase, ever so important in this battle especially. Luckily, nobody is in close combat yet, but with those enemies approaching, it could occur at any moment. Sad to see those guys get chased off. They were doing so well. But profit comes before the men. That's just the way it is in a trading company. In fact, I'm thinking we might even turn this guy this way just to get a shot at him. Alright, I'm hoping that this will break the Khan with the native Bengal infantry, and yes, we broke Madan Khan, and it also broke the enemy light cavalry unit. That's what we were looking for. Now can we break these guys? A charge would be a 76% win, but they're probably going to run. In fact, they're almost definitely going to run, so we're going to shoot. 41 fragmented, not a bad start at all, guys. Another shot here, 18, they've auto-broken, and I think it's because the actual amount of men in this unit, as you can see, 500. They went down to 285. Not good for you to be down at 285. Does that secure us the victory, boys? What do you think? I don't know. We're ending the turn. I really hope so. We got just a lucky break there. It's all thanks to our rifles. Just an amazing job. Despite overwhelming enemy forces, we did manage to knock them back, force them to retreat. Let's just hope that there's no sudden morale boost on the enemy side. Dispersal right there. Another dispersal. The Mughals are retreating in total panic before the might of the Empire. Unfortunately, we did get one rally there. It's the Mughal turn right now. And oh no, they've got us at 47%. We've got them at 41%. We've got a lot of work to do, folks. I think we're going to have to charge those guns. Because, of course, taking out the artillery will add to the percentage. And it's an easy charge. We just have to get very close, which is not safe, obviously. And, of course, another charge from enemy cavalry units. The dreaded Mughal heavy cavalry, the Pathan heavy cavalry here. They're getting very, very close. And I'm not liking that. Uncomfortably close now with the rest of their army. I thought we had them at 47. I was so happy. No way. No way. Got to get them to 60%, or that's all she wrote. Residual shooting phase, come on. We need this to go very well. And one of our units actually dispersed. In India, of all places. How are you going to find your way back home, my friend? I don't think that's such a good idea. What we need are some men to actually rally up here. The Pathan heavy cavalry continues to attack. I'm wondering if we should actually try to get into the fight with our bayonets. But everything, all of my instincts say no way. All of my instincts say charge the artillery or turn this way and face the rest of the enemy army. And I think that's what we're going to do. We'll open fire on the swordsmen here. Hopefully they'll be fairly easy to break. I'm going for the charge. Show them your bayonets, boys. That's it. We're in for the long haul, boys. Could also attempt a charge on this unit, but that could potentially lead to flank charges from the enemy. Let's wait to see what the enemy does. That's what we'll do. Probably going to have to charge that unit next turn, but I'm kind of annoyed that I have to wait a turn to be able to use them. That's all we've got, guys. Just that group. 5 divisions ready to fight to the death against the Mughals. Come on, boys. Bayonets. Remember your training. Very, very even. Way too even for my liking against the Bengal native infantry. And keep in mind, we've got bayonets. They've got swords. So I think swords beat bayonets in most fights. They're a problem. Here we go, 29. At least we haven't auto-broken yet, but it's looking bad for sure. Time for them to use that artillery. Their favorite weapon in this battle has been artillery. Man, another shot, that one thankfully missing. Please don't tell me that they're going to fire their light cannons as well. We've had enough punishment. Oh, yeah, I was worried about that. They missed with the first group. They're going to charge with this group of infantry, and we might actually have to get into a fight now, a close combat fight. Very possibly. 14. And bullet! Venka! 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 The elevator. He goes absolutely nuts with the elevator. Alright, some dispersal by another group of our men. I really was hoping these guys would actually rally again. Just hold so that we can get a charge. 14, 17. I think if we can charge with both of our units here, the Bombay Regiment and the Royal Navy Artillery, we could do so well, but it looks like our Bengal Native Infantry finally auto-broke. Our army has lost heart. We are defeated. So close. I was so close, but can't of course, hide the fact that it's a defeat. We can see there the casualties on both sides, guys. Pretty epic stuff. An amazing fight against the Bengals. Sorry about Bullet going crazy in the background there. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and, of course, subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.